We're recording. Shut up. Don't say anything.
You can't go.
Everybody, welcome to the Baby Shower Comedy. Like, review, subscribe, comment, share with all your friends. Watch it while you're going to the bathroom. Do whatever. All right, 11. Boom. We're into it. 11 seconds. Go, Hardy.
Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Give it a like. Yeah. Well, you just hit record and then you were like,
Is that
"Shut
street
up!"
noise?
And then you were
That is
like,
straight up
"Shut
street
up."
noise.
We were talking about. No, we were talking about things that need to be reserved for off pod. Or
That is right.
that's what I was saying.
right.
We should almost create a Patreon where we do like one story in the middle of the episode, but it bleeps. And it says join the Patreon. That fast forwards to non-Patreon stuff.
Yeah, that is
Like
how we should maybe do. 'Cause the viewers right now are maybe a little confused how we just hopped in. We just were about to get into like a really juicy story that we couldn't get into on air, so that's why we hopped in like that.
Yeah, they're gonna be really confused. They know what's going on.
They don't know what's going on, dude.
Yeah, we're dangerously.
I've already told all my friends about it. So
we're dangerously. Well.
what do you?
Well.
What do you got, dude? I don't want to know. We're dancing on the line. I don't even like dancing on the line here. I don't. I'll unplug the computer.
No, well, I was saying to Miller, I almost went up doing some comedy the other day where Tobin was there.
It's already.
No. And I was just going to bring this thing up.
Right.
No, there's something there. It was a thing, and I was said, hey, maybe I should, because, I usually don't have much to do or say at the mic.
I would have lost
so I was like,
it at the mic,
there's something I could say, and then I go, but then I also noticed that Mr. Miller had a glass of red wine and was on his way.
All right.
To
No more. No
okay,
more.
something else.
Yeah, something else. God. What do you got, dude? That can't be it.
Oh, you mean
Is
like
that your topic?
No.
You said you got a lot of juicy stuff.
I got a bunch of stuff. All right, I got one. Okay, I got.
By the way, I'm working on my posture here because I've been slouching on the pod. Go ahead.
Yeah. So one is.
Oh, this is gonna be great.
One is no. What's wrong with this?
No, go ahead.
I'm like the guy that just looks at his. Because I want to remember some.
In my head, none of it's going to be that good because you haven't remembered it. It's like, wait, what was I going to talk about?
Well, here's one.
If it was that good, it would have been like, I got it to listen to this.
Yeah, no, that's what it's like. Well, maybe it's not actually. You're kind of they're sort of like middling. They're middling tales. They're everyday tales.
All right.
They're tales like you like to tell, though. I feel like.
I'm a man of middling tales.
I love them though, meaning like
with
they're
the
not,
digs. Hardy's already digging at me, and I can't dig.
But
back.
they're not tales. Do you know what I'm saying? They're more tales. Like a dating tale is a fun PG-13 tale. You're not going, hey, listen, I did acid and I lost my fucking pants. We're not like Theo Vaughn over here. We're sort of like, hey, listen to this. So when I go on a date, I sit with my back to the door. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're lighter mid tales.
By the way, since we talked about the back to the door, I've now reversed. I'm now front to the door guy.
Are you really? I
yes.
respect that. Because
I've taken the feedback, front to the door, but now I got it. All right, go ahead.
Okay. So one of these is this one. How do I say? This one's pretty quick, but it's like, so I get the food poisoning, right?
Yeah.
I get that mean bout of food poisoning.
Yeah.
And then that weekend, my landlord comes up to me and she's telling me she's having a party that night.
At your apartment?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? So she's having a get together.
So for the people at home, Hardy lives with his landlord, but she doesn't like really live there.
Yes, perfectly said. She has a house in Jersey and she keeps this apartment.
She has full reign of the apartment with whatever she wants to do.
Yes.
No matter what you have to say, even though you're living there.
That's exactly what it's like. And she runs a non-profit business out of the living room.
Yeah.
So she goes, we're having people over, right? And I'm like, okay. There's nothing I can do about it. And I'm coming off of this food poisoning.
Yeah.
So
how many bathrooms in the apartment?
There's just one.
All
Thank
right.
you. I think
I'm foreshadowing.
This is really key. And so fast forward, the party's heating up, and I leave. I'm like, okay, bubble guts hit. I got diarrhea.
What do you mean the party's heating up? How many people? Are they boozing?
Yeah, there's like 10,
music,
15 people. Yeah.
How old is this woman?
This is like middle-aged to a little older.
40.
Is the clientele. Yeah, 50. Real interesting party too.
Wine,
like people
not
aren't
beer.
yes, and people are like sitting mostly. Isn't that weird? At like they're just
how big is this apartment? They got 15 people sitting.
Yeah, on these like fold-out chairs, and they're like not all sitting next to each other. They're sort of sporadically sitting throughout.
They've got group. You know how like in a standing
Yes.
in a standing party there will be little clusters. They've
That's
clustered the
right.
chairs.
That's what they've done.
Jeez.
They've
How do
clustered-
they go to another cluster? They pick up their chair and move the chair over to the next cluster.
Yeah, they'll just get up and go to the other cluster. But here's the thing: clusters aren't mingling. Okay, so once you commit to a cluster, like I went in and I committed to this like jazz cluster where they were listening to live jazz on a YouTube, and that was the jazz cluster. We're talking jazz, right?
Was the jazz audible to the other clusters?
Yes.
Or they had their own little pod?
Yeah. They had their own pod, but like the jazz was kind of playing throughout. Not a lot of room. This is New York. Scooting bys. Excuse me. Sorry.
How big is this apartment? Like the size of this?
No, smaller than it's smaller than this. There's no room that's honestly like the main room is maybe around like this size. But it's packed with stuff, right? Like put a bunch of chairs in here, you're not gonna be able to get around.
Yeah.
Right? And the kitchen's way small, and they cook like a bunch of shit. So it was like smelling. It was like packed. She's cooking full fish. She had these full fish she roasted.
Skin on.
Yes,
Yeah.
eye on.
Oh, I hate that. But
Dude,
yeah.
it was
Do you
wild.
like that stuff?
I ate it, but it was good. It was good, but it fucked me up.
Bones? You felt the bones?
Yeah,
Yeah.
felt the bones. So I'm like, okay, I get diarrhea, right?
As you're in the house? As you're in the apartment?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just hits me, and I'm like, okay, this is not good.
You pull her aside. You're like, I have diarrhea. She's
yeah.
like, what do you want me to do?
Yeah, she's like, I don't know. So this is, but this is like the party is not at full peak yet, so it's like still on the rise.
People are still showing up.
Yes, and I go out to the bathroom, and it's just occupied. So I'm like, fuck, like there's someone in there, right? Because it's now the bathroom for the
What
party.
are you wearing?
Too.
Because I imagine these people are wearing
know.
like button downs.
Oh yeah,
maybe like a little
great.
fedora.
So I'm in that T-shirt I have. It says "Definitely not on drugs." I literally am, and I'm like all disheveled. And they're
You
like,
got
"Oh,
a beanie
Matt."
on? Beanie on?
Yeah. And I had been sleeping, I think, and I'm like, "Oh fuck." I don't even. You gotta understand. I'm not thinking there's gonna be someone in the bathroom. There's very rarely. The chances are almost none. But then it hits me. Oh, the party, right? This party. So I'm standing out there, and I end up waiting like 25 minutes for someone to come out of the bathroom. And I'm like, fuck, man. Like, I really had to go.
Right.
So I'm
You're knocking on the door, and they're like, 1 second, they finally come out. They
That's
see
what
that
it
you're
was.
like definitely not on drugs, and this guy's got a coke problem.
yeah, dude. I was like, so then the person comes out, right? But I'm like, were they going to the bathroom? And then it's a woman.
Yeah.
And so I feel bad, right? It's this nice middle-aged, larger woman. She comes down. I'm like, what's going on?
Does that have anything to do with the story?
I'm like, a little bit, yeah. I'm like, but she looks very nice. She's very like dressed up.
Yeah. She's probably at the only party she's going to for the next month.
Yeah. So I'm like, Jesus, like what the fuck? And I'm like, I don't want to be a dick, so I'm kind of avoiding the eye contact. I'm like hanging back in my room, peering through the door. I'm like,
Oh,
all
you're
right.
not waiting right outside the
No,
door.
I'm like, let me wait for her to pass, yada
Yeah.
yada. and I realized she was getting dressed. That's why it took her so long. She wasn't going to the bathroom. Okay?
How did you realize this?
Well, she's all dressed up, makeup, and when I go into the bathroom, there's bags everywhere of like people's clothes who have traveled to the apartment who are now using the bathroom as a changing room.
What?
Yes.
This doesn't occur. This doesn't happen.
You're telling me.
Where are they coming from where they can't
I know.
have the clothes on? Is this like a sex party?
That wasn't like a sec.
Where they're like dressing up and like they got some like
they were
leathers going on now?
That would be really funny if they were like really getting.
I could see that.
They were putting on like different, like they were the women. They were like getting dressed up, putting on like makeup. They had these dresses. They were leaving the old clothes in there. They had bags. They were like, using the mirror. Had stuff on. The tub itself was full of like 2 literal traveling bags of clothing.
I'm absolutely furious right now.
Right?
There's another bedroom, right?
Yes. Thank you, Pat.
No.
There's another bedroom.
Occupied?
No. He's at the party.
I'm literally at the party. No.
Yes.
I would pick up the bags and throw them outside. I'd be like, this isn't the place for the bags.
That's a nice. If I had more moxie.
They're in the hallway.
If I had more moxie, maybe. But
I'd drop my shit right into one of their bags.
You just shit in a bag.
Yeah.
That's funny. So.
Oh, sorry. Whose purple bag is that? You might want to.
Did anyone leave a purple bag?
You might want to check it out.
Yeah, because now it's purple and brown. So you might want to take a look. So okay, and I'm also kind of like
clipped it. Boom. That's our quickest clip. 11 minutes in.
Yeah, I go, and I'm like, listen, use my bedroom. That's a clip it. Do we have the thing? Oh, hells yeah. I'm like, why don't you use my room? You can use my room. Don't use the bathroom. There's one. And this is a disaster now because, again, I didn't have to kind of go to the bathroom, all right, everyone? Like TMI, I had to go.
Yeah.
I had food poisoning recently. So I go in there, close the door, and this is embarrassing because, by the way, when you're using a changing room, there are people who are still using it. So there's like people like walking back like, yeah, it's good to see you, girl. Like, and they're like heading back towards the bathroom to use it as a changing room because they're thinking there's no weird guy here who's going to fucking spray diarrhea shit
but you're
in the bathroom in between me putting my makeup on in a clean, nice, fresh bathroom.
But you're already in there, right?
Yes, I'm in there dropping an absolute bomb.
Good.
Yes.
Let them know. Let them know what's supposed to be going on in there.
Mark your fucking territory.
Yes.
Let them know. That's what was happening. It was fucking crazy. I was letting them know, and I locked the bathroom door. But I'm like, this is bad because I'm spraying shit. Like, it stinks.
Yes.
Okay?
Once again,
now
they'll never make that mistake again.
Yeah,
and also
really...
stay in there a couple extra minutes so that more people knock on the door. They go, are you in there? You go, yes. I'm taking a shit.
This is not
whatever you're wearing right now will suffice for the next 30 minutes.
Yeah. Or if you don't think it will, use at your own peril now.
Yeah.
Because let me tell you, I popped out and there was a woman standing right there and she was like, oh, Matthew, are you done? Are you still using it? And I was like, no, I'm done. You can go back in there now. Which I was like, dude, it was a gross, the bathroom's tiny.
You go, well, I finished taking a shit, but I also need to change. So I will be coming back in the next 5 minutes. Because I'm not changing in a bedroom. That'd be ridiculous.
And it's the wife. The woman that's standing there is literally the wife of the guy that I pay rent to.
Yeah.
So I'm like, this is just... It was literally like, when you have you literally have a nightmare and you can't make this shit up. You're like, it'd be a really bad place to take a shit. In between a bunch of excited women getting ready for a party. in a bathroom.
No, see, that's their fault.
But you were pumped up.
I would be self-conscious if I was in between women going to the bathroom.
Right,
You
but
know what
not
I mean?
this kind of right.
They can very easily grab their bag and go to a bedroom. If they're not enjoying the smell, the natural smells of the bathroom, pick it up and go elsewhere.
Smells of the bathroom. I hope you guys enjoy the natural smells of the bathroom. Yeah, I sprayed some like apple cinnamon Febreze, which by the way, it wasn't
Makes
even
it worse.
Does not work.
It makes it worse.
Does not work.
Because it smells more like more of a public bathroom now instead of a natural bathroom.
And they just like casually escorted a newly arrived party member into the bathroom, and I was like, okay, that's that. So that's that one.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. Yeah. This one's pretty
Yeah, let's
good.
just roll through all Hardy's stories.
Yeah, you know what? Let's go back and forth. Why don't we do that?
No. You don't talk enough on the pod.
No, now you have to
Call
tell
back.
the story.
What episode was that? 100? I think that was probably 100 where you reamed me out.
Yes. Yeah. Early on in 100. Because
Mine's not as good. I've got, the limbo thing, but that's not really a story. We'll save that for the end because that won't be that compelling, I feel. It might be compelling. But
yeah.
I did the industry room last night, the bringer.
Okay, I was like, I wonder what he's doing over there.
Do you think Snover listens to the podcast?
I would say no, but Snover's a good guy. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Was he there?
So I do the industry room, which right for everyone. It's a bringer. You bring 5 people. You get an audition for the comedy.
By the way,
club.
I've also done that.
It's not a good It's not well. It's like kind of
It's
it's a
fun.
beginner thing. It's a beginner thing to do.
It can and it can't. Right. The show itself usually attracts a lot of early on comics because you don't get a lot of time and you have to bring a lot of people.
Right.
So those are two things that are kind of weird. If you're gonna do a
Which,
bringer,
by the way,
yeah,
didn't bring a soul.
really. Oh, so they just gave.
I bought tickets.
Yeah.
In the names of my friends, but I didn't invite them.
That's
I
funny.
just bought tickets and they didn't show up.
You just game the system.
Yeah. I'm assuming that the Booker of Broadway Comedy Club isn't watching this, but
I know that guy too. That guy and I talked a few times.
he's like a nice guy.
Yeah.
So I go to the thing. I'm not expecting to see anyone, right? I'm like, this
Yeah.
is a covert operation. I don't want to be seen doing this bringer.
Yeah.
I don't want it right. So I go downstairs into like the green room. It's the kitchen.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I see Trina, Trina Alpert. She's very
Yeah,
nice,
Trina's
funny.
great.
Yeah, she's great. And then Snover. Those are the only
Venti
two.
runs
Venti.
yeah.
Snover. Those are the only 2 people I know.
Ah, legendary.
So I sit down. The only seat that's available at this point is next to Snover. So I sit down next to Snover.
Man,
and
we
the
love you.
scene, the show starts at 6. The scene in this like green room, it's 15 comics.
Yeah.
I'm sitting.
Oh
next
my
to
God, this is probably a wild scene to
It's-
look back on. Ha ha ha! Are they all?
Because it's all everyone's in their own head. Like this one poor girl was like reciting her bits to herself in the green, and we're all in a circle. We're all in like a packed-in circle because they don't have anywhere else to put 15 comics. So we're in the kitchen, just shoulder to shoulder. This girl's reciting her thing.
Yeah, and you want to be like, hey, listen, if you don't know it yet, you're just leave it alone.
Yes.
They're just saying it to yourself at this point's not going to do much.
Yes. So there are comics like talking. They're like, what are some like good mics you've been doing? Like all that stuff. I'm like, God, just shut up. Just shut up. I wanted to leave. I like went to the bathroom 5 times just to leave the green room because I couldn't handle this.
This
like
is my favorite image of you contrasted against the attitudes of the people in there. Just all of the hopefulness
Yes.
and none of the cynicism, none of the practicality and reality has set in. It's just all these wide-eyed, bushy-tailed comics.
Yes.
Like, I might start with this opener, but I've been tweaking a new one.
Yeah,
You're
and they're like-
I'm gonna hit you.
They're like, I just did a bringer at Buddha the other day. It was awesome. You guys should do it. I'm like, just shut the fuck up.
You know who I did that industry room show with? You'll never
Snover?
guess. No. Choi. Choi and I met each other at the that's the first time we ever
Wow.
met. Was at the Broadway industry room
Wow.
bringer in that green room.
Isn't it shit
In
a
that
shit
we
show?
we were newly, freshly minted idiots, just being like, wow, we don't know what the fuck we're doing.
And by the way, they don't give a lineup for the show.
No,
they don't give
chaos.
a lineup. And the guy goes, "We're gonna come in and we're gonna say 2 names at a time, and don't say what's up. There's only one reason we're saying your name. It's that you're next." I'm like, all right, this guy means business, dude.
It's like a firing squad.
Like, so when that guy comes in, everyone stops what they're talking about and is looking at that door.
Isn't that so funny early on? When you're in comedy early on, the pre-show, you can't continue the thing you're doing.
Right.
You have to like stop everything you're doing and be like, oh, do I have to go do it now? It's like, just fucking relax.
Yes. So I'm sitting there. People are getting called up. Snover, by the way, is just eating my ear out, dude.
Yeah.
With nonsense, just nervous talking. You know what I mean? How like people get nervous and they just need to say things.
Yeah.
It was
Yes.
insanity.
By the way, shout out Snover.
Shout out Snover. Nice
Oh, we
guy.
love Matt Snover.
Yeah.
Matt Snover is the recently at a mic I did his joke. Did I tell you this? Where were you?
Yeah.
No, I like did his bits.
Yeah.
Matt Snover, he had a great set. Yeah.
And by the way, so people are going back and forth. They're like, everyone coming by, like, yeah, fun crew, you know.
Oh,
like all that, where
that's
they're
the
like,
best.
how are they? Like referencing the audience. They're like, how's the
comedy talk.
audience? And they're like, yeah, they're good. They're fun. And I'm like, God, I want to shoot everyone in this room. Because I know for a fact that not everyone's doing well on this show.
They're fair.
Yeah.
They're fair.
Yeah, they're fair.
good.
They laugh at good jokes. I'm like,
I thought
"Ugh."
I thought they were pretty responsive. They're enjoyable. They're fair. They're good. And you're like, I can't hear. I've heard not one laugh since
Yeah.
I've been back. It's not that hard to hear a laugh through a wall.
The best part is that I did hear 1 or 2 laughs, so now I can gauge whether there's actual laughter happening. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So there were sets where people were coming in and I didn't hear 1 laugh, and they're like, "Oh yeah, they're great, man. They're fucking great." And I'm like, I didn't hear 1 laugh in this room.
This is the best. So when do you? Yeah.
An hour and a half in.
Yeah.
Still haven't heard my name. All of a
Really?
sudden, I hear screaming in the hallway. Some girl's going, "Get your fucking hands off me. You can't touch me like that." All this shit. She's all drunk. There's like rustling in the thing, you know?
Yeah.
Some girl got kicked out because she was drunk and like heckling and stuff like that. So I'm
man.
like, oh, Jesus Christ. So fifth.
You know, have you ever seen the movie First Man? Ever seen this movie?
Yeah.
With Ryan Gosling.
yeah,
It's
where
about,
he-
David
yeah.
Chazelle. I sort of think the way he portrays being an astronaut and like everyone dying around him and him attempting to get to the moon is like stand up.
Yeah.
Like things are going wrong around you, and as they go wrong, they're only making what you're attempting to do much harder.
Right.
You're like, oh my God, now some girl is getting violently kicked out. Like
now
that's
everyone's
not a good
thinking about that, and it's
Yeah.
right outside the showroom. It's not like they were like, let's deal with this upstairs. It's like, no, we're dealing with it right here. I want to disrupt the show. That was this girl's thing. She's like, I'm disrupting this fucking
Right,
show.
right. And just like First Man, you're standing there and the person comes in, like the NASA guy, and he goes, Tobin,
Yeah.
are you ready?
We
You're
understand
next
that there's some turbulence over here, but stay focused.
Can you fly? Can you fly? We heard you're a pilot.
You got your 5, stay focused. Do your 5.
Don't look at her.
So they get this girl out of there.
You're fucking...
The guy comes in. He goes, all right, next up is this person and this person. They go, did we miss anyone? That's it. And I go,
That's even better.
yeah. And Trina looks at me. She goes, oh, God. I go, yeah, you missed me. And the guy goes, what's your name? I go, Tobin. He goes, Tobin what? I go, Tobin Miller. You sack of shit. You should know my full name because I've been on this lineup for 2 months. And I invited 5 people. Granted, they're not here.
I paid them. They're not here.
Granted, they're not here, and I didn't really do the bringer. but I better fucking be on this show. Because there'd be nothing more embarrassing than sitting in a green room with 15 new comics and having to endure the chaos of that and not even be able to get up. I would have lost my shit, dude.
There's something so funny about the guy forgetting you.
Yeah.
On top. That's what we were saying. That's like right in line with like the shit that goes wrong in stand-up. It's like, that's another bad sign. Oh, you don't even... I'm not important enough to even remember that I was on the lineup.
I was losing it, dude.
So
I'm like pissed now, right?
Yeah, because you're probably thinking they're already doing a bad job timing, I would assume. That show's way too long.
This is
already.
an hour 45.
Yeah,
and not like an hour 45 of like, boom, Chappelle, Aziz, Rock. This is like first week of comedy. Improv person trying to work on their like this is like spoken word uppercut. This is someone singing a song. This isn't good. This is Snover doing his 50th bringer of all time.
Yeah, this is a mental breakdown.
So the guy goes, all right, let me
talk.
So let me talk to the guy. So the guy finally,
no. Now they're like making room,
and everyone's looking at me because everyone knows that I was the most pissed off in that room. You know what I mean? Like everyone knew that I was the guy that was just pissed off to be there in the first place.
Yes.
So everyone's like, oh shit. So the guy finally comes up. He goes, all right, Tobin, come with me quick. I'm like, I know you're shuffling me. He goes, you're on next. So I go into the wing, and I'm watching this comic.
What a train wreck.
I'm watching the comic before me from the wing. This is the comic that was muttering her bits to herself.
Yeah.
Not one laugh did I hear. Not one.
Yeah.
And when I say not one, not a giggle, not anything.
Not a
This
tee-hee.
is not a tee-hee. Not a little Russell either.
Yeah.
None of
I've
this
had
stuff.
that where
Just
it's like
staring straight, and I'm like, God damn it.
yeah, because again, you've got to try to fly. You got to try to land this lunar module, and all systems are down.
No.
Like it's just like the movie. It's like
Not
you've got
only-
no radar. You can't see the moon.
Not
You're
only do I
out
have
of-
to land it, I
Yeah.
got to take it off again. The plane had already landed. Everyone thought the plane had, the game was over,
right.
and now boom, now I got to take off the plane again for a little short trip. Everyone thought we were done deplaning. We were deplaning.
Yes, right. We're going home. Oh no, sorry. We forgot. Here's your 26th
Yes.
comic of tonight.
To do another type 5.
Yes, you don't know him.
Yes.
And you're exhausted, and the person before had just really brought the whole thing to a screeching halt. And by the way, we forgot him too.
And also,
give it up for your.
And also, no credits to like kind of pump them up a little bit, where they're like 2021's
That's right.
comic to watch. None of that. It's just this is your next comic. You're the other jackass that brought 5 of his fucking buddies to come to this comedy show. So I go up, and I do my tall bit up top. I go, so I'm tall, and then this girl in the front row goes, I'm short.
Oh,
and in my head, I was like, if this wasn't an audition, I'd be so fucking into this right now. But I'm staying focused.
Right.
I'm staying focused.
Right. I'm gonna do my act.
So I do my act. I do well. I'm getting not like as many laughs as I thought I'd get.
Sure,
you know?
I mean you're in a.
But it's also hour 50. There were people again. Everyone, whatever. So I do fine.
Yeah.
I get off stage.
Oh my god.
And the guy, the booker, comes into the room. He goes, Tobin, come here. And so I'm like, look at me, guys. I'm already getting the pass.
Hey, you're going. Did you see how I just withstood all of the burning?
Yes.
Energy. I
didn't pat Snover on the. Can you imagine if I just tap Snover on the knee? I go,
see that pro?
See this fucking move. So I go. He goes, follow me. Brings me into the back room where the cameras are, and he goes, first of all, sorry we forgot you. This and that. I'm like, it doesn't matter. And he's like,
that's nice though.
He's like,
Dude, a nice guy.
He's like, so the reason I brought you back here, I didn't realize how tall you actually were. So for the tape, your head's cut off. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, I don't give a fuck about the tape. You think I'm doing this for a tape?
It's also
give me a fucking right. So he goes, So because you didn't get a tape on this show, we're gonna get you another spot here so that you can get a tape on another show.
Okay, so there's the silver lining.
But in my head, I'm like, does that mean I didn't get the residency or anything like it? You know, like
no, I bet you're gonna get the. I mean, I got the residency like 1 month. I'd like to just
see. That's the thing is like
I like to just put
people
it out
say
there.
that they're like, well, I got the residency a month in. This person got the so if you don't get the residency, now I feel like a jackass.
No, but I would be like, I think knowing you and the quality of your jokes and the fact that you got laughs and it was at the end and you still did your set.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I would think. Well, you might not get. Oh, here's the thing. At least from what I can tell from that thing, you might not get past.
Right.
There's a big difference, right? And
yeah,
then there's like a 6 month they'll give, and then there's like they gave people a 2 month, and then they just gave me like a 1 month residency.
Right.
If you're, at least what I could tell, if you're like, I know Choi got, if you're like somewhat competent, like you didn't like literally, yeah. I think they already gave you another spot. That's so funny though that the topper, the guy, then even your head's cut off on the tape. It's so first man. It's like still. Something fucking went wrong. Oh, by the way, even though you got to the moon and came back, you saved everyone's life. Like in First Man, they're like, now everyone's mad at you. Now everyone's mad at you. Yeah, there's no record of it, and everyone's pissed because they think you fucked up you got everyone home, but we think you fucked up the flight. And you're like, I saved everyone's life.
But the whole time I was sweating because I'm like, maybe they're on to me about this. Like my buddies didn't show up. Maybe that's why I didn't get up.
Right.
And maybe that's why he's calling me back here. I'm like, am I in trouble, dude?
Oh
Fuck
my
all
God.
This stuff.
I would have loved if they got wind of that.
Well, I invited.
Where are your people?
I invited them.
Yeah.
And I said, you don't have to come. I go, I got you tickets. If you want to come, you can come.
Oh, so they were actually.
So there were people informed, you know.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. So then when are you going back?
I don't know. Who knows, dude? But Jared Waters was there. He was like, good set, man.
Right.
Like some other comics were there. Shoddy Diaz was there. She said good set or whatever. She's there for
great.
Trina.
Yeah. I feel like there are some people that hang out over there.
Yeah, being a wallflower on the comedy scene, it's probably one of my favorite things is to hear what comics say after they got off stage about the crowd. Like, oh, hot crowd. Oh, they're a little quiet or something like that. Just like it's always different. It's just like
I need to come up with a better line because I always usually do fine. They're fine. I need to come up with like it's a comedy show.
Yeah, or just don't like. Yeah,
they're
just
an
like,
audience.
Don't say anything. Yeah, be like, just put it more on like you. Like,
I
had a good set. Like, yeah, it felt good. I don't know.
It's a nervous thing to ask.
I didn't do that well. Yeah,
I like that perspective because it's like you're not really caring about the crowd. You're just caring about how your performance was. Like,
yeah, exactly. Sometimes like the audience. We were talking about this last night with some people. Sometimes it's hard to get a true objective feel of how they are, because each comic's experience of how they are is so subjective that like one comic might be like they're so responsive and it's like, yeah, well, you're Dave Chappelle. Or like they're so and then another one's like, man, they're stiff. Or like maybe they are objectively a little rigid, but maybe it's because you did darker jokes.
Right.
I mean, it's just like there's so many reasons.
I've seen a lot of shows where everyone's bombing and then someone kills, and I've seen a lot of shows where a lot of people are killing and then a person goes up and bombs.
Right.
The audience, focus on yourself, dude.
Yeah. There are, but
anyway,
having done the Baby Shower show at so much at this point, you are also objectively aware of there is each time the crowd does itself have kind of an energy.
Are we on a wave already, or do I need to catch a wave here?
Yeah.
Like, is the audience currently riding a wave where they're all laughing and stuff like that, or have we not? Are we kind of wandering around in the ocean?
Yeah.
And I need to get them up on a wave.
Yeah.
But anyways, what's your story? Let's keep this moving.
So the
right, Samaha.
Okay, so this is okay. We're gonna really talk shop here. All right. I got a big pet peeve. All right. I got a big time pet peeve here, and
I love pets. Love pet peeves.
We'll see where you're on. What side of the
Jeremy
fence you're on. Yeah, you're on with this. Are you one of these people? Yes. What's your protocol? Now, I understand. I'm just going to say it flat out. I don't like when people take my shit out of the dryer and put it in those weird bins in the laundry room. Do you know what I'm talking about?
What's the context?
The general use bins.
Public laundromat.
No.
Building laundry.
Building laundry in the basement.
Or your own personal laundry. Family laundry.
Building laundry in the basement. Multiple, like a 5-unit washer, 5-unit dryer. The whole building's using it.
Yeah.
I come down.
I would never dare touch anyone else's laundry.
This is what I'm saying. Like, it's dry. I've gone through the entire wash process, which is what? 3 hours? It's now dry in the dryer.
Apparently for you, it's like 4 or 5 if you didn't have it out of the, if you weren't timing it.
I now see that. Okay, so now this is why I like bringing this to your attention, because this is my error. This is what I do. I did leave it for a while.
Boom, you can't leave it.
Okay.
You're landlocked when you throw your stuff in the washing and drying.
Yeah.
You're landlocked until the end of the cycle.
Okay. Now, I disagree with you. If I'm just gonna say, like, I don't think it trumps.
Sprained my wrist on that.
You leaving it in there doesn't trump the inconvenience you've caused me by, at least me, this is my pet peeve, pulling all my dry shit out and chucking it in these metal bins that people use, like for wet clothes, all types of shit, putting in here. These are like multi-use, and now they're just sitting in there. So that pisses me off. What about you, Samaha? How do you feel come out in this?
So I have a question. How many were occupied at the time?
So
or do you not
I
know?
only had 2 occupied, and there's 6.
5.
Party goes all
there's
5.
6.
There's 6.
Yes.
So is it
6
possible
washers,
that,
6 dryers.
So from when you put in your stuff and left
Yes.
it, in between that time and when you came back to find your stuff, the other machines were occupied. So there was high traffic in this laundry room, obviously. I think
Yes.
What day is it?
There's very good chance.
I think just because
Weekend?
No, weekday, I think.
ugh,
Yes.
just because there's high traffic doesn't give them the right
That's what
to
I
take your
think.
shit out.
Like,
you gotta wait. You gotta
just
wait your
fucking
turn.
wait. Like, it's first come, first serve. Not possession's 9/10 the law. I've already gotten it. Just grow up. You don't need to rush me because you fucking have
Were there but
somewhere to just go. Oh, I guess I can't use this yet, or wait for a different one to finish.
Hold on. There was no other ones available.
I don't know.
Here's
So when
the
I
issue.
came
So
back,
When he left, he said there were available. There were
I'll give you-
unoccupied machines.
I think there was like at least one. Yeah.
I'll give you a scenario.
Yeah.
How many floors is your apartment? 5.
6 floors.
What floor are you on?
4.
Let's say I'm on the 6th floor, just for argument's sake.
Yes.
I trudge my laundry down there,
Yes.
right? Everything's running. There's 1 or 2
Yeah.
that are standstill.
Yep.
And I'm like, all right, let me go back upstairs, give them another 30 minutes.
Okay.
Go upstairs.
Right.
30 minutes later, I come down.
Right.
It's still in there.
Okay.
Then I might be like, all right.
Yeah,
This
I
guy
think
had,
that is
this
what
guy
people
had
probably
30 minutes to get his stuff
Yeah.
out.
Yeah,
There's
I
only
don't
5
hate that.
laundry things.
I don't hate that I don't. That's like like you know.
Because
I
now
don't
they're
hate-
like, now I just traveled another 6 foot. My legs are tired. Now I'm pissed because I got a schedule too. I was planning on doing my laundry.
Yes.
And I got somewhere to go. And if I don't do my laundry,
You could also not
This
do your
is
laundry.
water. this is water.
Yeah, but
Have you read that?
Yeah, the David Foster
Yeah,
Wallace.
yeah.
I love it. The thing is, it just feels very a trespass to me that I beat you to the laundry room on this day. Take your L. Do laundry on another day. I
Right.
beat your dumb ass down there. So you don't need to now trespass into the process of mine, and now you chuck it into this thing that's now, what, I got to rewash it now? You got all your fucking hands on it? We've been doing COVID for a while now. Let's not grab each other's shits out of dryers. I tell you, this fucking really pisses me off. So, but let me just say this right before you pop in. So anyway, just so the
2
story.
things. I got 2 things to say.
Just so the story has a little bit of context so that we can come back to it. So in my anger, I literally, someone's thing finished, and the second it finished, I threw all their shit in the metal bin and go.
I got two
So we'll
things.
come back.
I got two things. One, and we'll revisit this.
Yeah.
The cleanliness of the bin. We need to visit that really quickly.
Yes, that is
the first. But my first point is, where's the
bin.
closest public laundromat?
It's not far. I used to
Like
go
a
to
block?
It. Yes.
Okay, so
It's
if
a
they were in
block.
a real pinch where they needed to wash something, they could easily go to the laundromat,
Yes.
do their own laundry for $5, $6, $10.
Yes.
Okay.
I just don't think I just think they're more like what you said, which is like, well,
They were pissed.
you're supposed to time like they're just they have a different rule in their head, which is if the time runs up, you're now fucked.
You're now on the clock.
Yes, you better
You've got
be
a 30-minute
there.
grace
Excuse me,
period.
you might have to box someone out who is trying to take. You might have to. Excuse me, that's actually. Yeah, that's mine. Let me just thank you. Let me just.
Have you
get
thought
this
about
out.
leaving a note on everyone's doors and saying, I don't know which one of you it was,
That's right,
but on Tuesday at 11:53 a.m.,
dude. I was so mad.
something egregious occurred in the laundromat.
I did record what I thought would be a TikTok about this and then deleted it. But this is what I did. So I was so angry. So I tried to figure out who it was, and I go, "Is this your stuff?" In the dry, like, because my shit was now out of the dryer and this dryer was being used. I was like, "Is this yours?" And I could tell she kind of could pick up on my tone, and she was like, "No, it's not mine." And I was like, "This is." Well, I don't know what's going on.
And now you're standing and now you're sitting in the laundromat
Yes.
holding it hostage.
That's what I'm saying.
They're
I'm
like coming in. They're like, oh no, this wrong laundromat.
So she leaves, okay? And when
Yeah.
her stuff finishes, this is when I'm like, you know what? Fuck this lady. I don't even know if it was her, but I like kind of wonder. So I take her shit out and I throw it in the metal bins, right?
Uh-huh.
Her shit just finished. But in my head, I was going, oh, that's my phone. In my head, I was going, yeah, go. It's probably in my jacket, Pat.
We should put the ringtone up to the mic so people can hear this.
Oh, yeah. It's Pomeroy.
Damn it, missed. Alcatel.
Dude, that thing.
Alcatel.
Oh my God.
Still pumping out flip phones.
I gotta fucking get Yeah, so this heats up. Okay, I gotta get I gotta turn the ring
Anyways,
off.
I have an idea. I think you
Yeah.
should. You have a printer at home or something. You should make a little sign that says "Attention from the building. Please do not
Yes,
touch other
please do-
people's laundry." But you should make
Please-
it from the building.
Oh, that's brilliant. And put it up like in the room. Like, please do not. Let me turn this. So this is what happens. So I take the woman's shit out because I'm pissed and I want to do what was done to me. So I'm like, oh, this woman's gonna come back and she's gonna be like, Jesus, didn't I have my laundry? Like I it's been a minute.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna be like, no. So I start. She doesn't show up. So I start feeling bad. That I
No,
put
you
it,
don't- no,
yes,
you
and I
put it
take
back
it back,
in.
and I put it back in.
Which is even worse.
I know.
Because now if she doesn't agree with the cleanliness of that bin, you've kind of slighted her where now she's
Yes.
wearing clothes that she thinks is fine and clean,
I have.
but have the dirtiness of the bin. Now we need to talk about this bin. What's the material of it?
It's a metal. They're like these two metal grates, like that you
like
wheel
gray
around.
metal, like steel metal, or is
Yes.
it kind of like a white metal?
It's like a steel metal. It's like a shiny metal.
I know it, and it's got rubber on the top ring.
Yes.
And it's got wheels.
Yes.
I know what we're talking
Yes.
about. So, anyways,
Yeah. So this is not even the. So this heats up, but go. So you're right though. It's not like a terrible piece of equipment. Like
it's not something where you have to rewash it. It's not like it was on some like
No.
wooden countertop where you don't know what's in the grates of the wood.
No, but was true. This is it. And again, this is another great point about this. I think Samaha will agree with me. When you decide to take someone's shit out of the dryer, you're also deciding that it's dry now. Because now I
yeah.
can't re-dry. Because, again, I don't have possession anymore. I did, but you took it. So I had to, the shit wasn't dry. It wasn't even totally dry. So I had to throw it back in, but now I didn't have the fucking dryer. Right? So what happens is I take the shit and
Do you interrupt her drying cycle?
Well, I put her shit back. I put her shit back in.
Here's another interesting thing.
Right.
It's one thing if it's the washer, right? It's like, oh, this washer has been sitting there. But now if you're occupying a dryer, you're really messing up there. They're like, I don't want it to sit here wet and get mildewy. Like, you're kind of messing up their whole cycle now.
That is a good point.
So
for
the
people
dryer
in the
is
washer,
a lot tougher. If it's sitting in the washer, it's like, all right, I can wait another 15 minutes for them to throw it into the dryer.
Yeah.
Because the dryer's going to be bogged up anyways.
Yeah.
If I throw their shit down,
See, that's what you should have done. You should have just washed her clothes again.
I thought about.
You should have just thrown it all away, and she goes, "Where are my clothes?" And you're like, "I don't know. My stuff has been in the dryer the whole time."
This is what I was like. So I threw it.
She goes, "You've never even been down here today. I've been here. I've been in this room all day."
Exactly. Like she'll never realize.
Yeah.
You're absolutely not on drugs T-shirt on.
No, but so listen. So this is what gets crazy.
Damn it, you're I feel shitty now.
In another, what's that?
Patty Clips has been time stamping your stories and not my stories.
Oh no. So listen.
There's a big gap during the industry room.
So this is what. Yeah. Well, finally, maybe I can pull my weight. So this is what happened. So this fucking, I'm so angry. I do this to the woman, and then I put her shit back, like, because I'm such a little fucking goody two. I'm like, oh, this is mean. So I put her shit back in, and then in another fit of anger, I open the actual dryer that my shit was taken out of, right? Because there's someone else's shit that it's got like 53 minutes left in it, and I'm like, this is the real fucking culprit. I don't know who it is. He's not here. The woman said it's not her stuff. It's this guy, whoever he is. It also could be another person, maybe before this guy, but that's a long time to have been out of the dryer. I don't think I was that long.
Right.
Now, I am bad at this. It could have been like 2 hours. It could have been
long. That's what I'm thinking. It was
you
probably
knowing
a long
me, it
time.
was like a good amount of time. Here's what I do. I open the dryer for a moment. This person's dryer. I literally open it, right? To stop it and just like fuck this guy. Like, fuck his dryer, right? Now, I don't even thinking like, well, I'm going to have to, as I open it, a wedding ring falls out of the dryer onto the floor. And I know what you're all thinking. What a predicament I have myself in now.
What's the predicament?
What do you mean? His wedding, what am I going to put his wedding ring back in the dryer and go, well, I hope he finds his wedding ring. Now I have to
male or female
have to get him his wedding ring.
Male.
Well, to reveal is it turns out to be, listen, so this is the thing. So I'm like, oh my God, that's his wedding. You got to understand, I can't, now if I put his wedding ring back in the dryer, he might not find his wedding ring. It's not loose.
Yeah.
I can't do that. But
Why
now,
not?
You would do that?
Wait, who's this guy? This is the guy that took your laundry out?
Wow. No, I don't know him. I don't know him. I've gone down.
It was the machine that he was using.
Yes, I've gone down.
This is the person that took your laundry out.
Yes, potentially, yes. My laundry's over here. This machine's running, right? I don't know
that's where your laundry was before you removed it.
Right.
So obviously that's the person.
Yes. We think this is a guy. I open the dryer to be like, fuck this guy's laundry, even though it's got an hour left, and a wedding ring falls out.
I'd post a letter on everyone's door to say I've been witnessing some infidelity in the apartment.
Well, no, it's not. It's his wedding ring.
Claim your ring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's his. So.
But why are you taking your wedding ring off? That's my point.
Well, clearly what happened was he had left it in some of his laundry. Right?
Yes. I'm caught up now.
Yes. Okay. So here's the predicament. I'm a decent guy. I'm not going to put someone's wedding ring anywhere in a laundry room to be recovered.
But that's where he put it. Maybe that's where he wants it to be.
No, you're really not understanding this story, or you're fucking with me. It fell out of the dryer, bro.
Right.
right?
Yes. It's on the ground.
Yes.
The ring.
So, and this is me. I'm the one who opened his dryer. His dryer's tumbling.
Right.
So now I have to get him back. I can't put if I put his wedding ring back in his laundry, I'm doing the guy a massive disservice. He's never going to know. Sure, he's never going to know that I saw his wedding ring.
That's where the wedding ring was originally, though, right?
Yeah, it was in the...
All right.
Yeah. But you don't know. It was probably in a pocket. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
His wedding ring was in a pocket.
Or somewhere.
He threw the pants in the dryer.
Exactly.
In the wash.
That's right.
This is key for me. Did you see your clothes in the bin first? Did you check the dryer first to see if your clothes were done?
Say that again?
How did you find out your clothes were done? Like in a bin? Did you see the bin first? Or
I came in.
Or did you go up to the dryer and open it?
No. I knew it were they were not my clothes.
Copy.
I was just being a douche, and I was being a dick, and I wanted to stop his dryer from drying. Right? So quick little.
Yes.
Yes.
You have two choices.
That's right.
1, you put it back in the dryer. 2, you knock on doors and say, "Is this your ring?"
That's right.
Third choice. I think you could play it off and be like, "Oh, I opened this dryer because I thought it was the dryer."
So this is what happened. So the way the story is now, what I think to do, because I'm like, oh, I can't. First of all, knocking on doors is insane. What do you mean? There's like probably 600 people in my building, so that just wouldn't work. 2, if you really think this through, like if you put yourself in my position, what are you gonna do? Write on a little piece. Hey, here's someone's very expensive wedding ring. You know, the package theft in my building is out of control. The wedding ring will be stolen immediately. So I don't have any choice but to now wait to find out the identity of the guy who took my laundry out. And not because I'm going to confront him about taking my laundry out, but because I have his wedding ring. I have to wait to get him his wedding ring. So there's like 50 minutes left on the thing. So now I'm like, fuck, I got to pocket this and try to catch this guy. The irony is immense. At the exact moment when his goddamn dryer ends, and hopefully he's not like me, and he waits around so I can give him his fucking wedding ring. So I go back upstairs.
Why are you not placing it back in the dryer? This is not your wedding ring. You don't owe this guy. He's the asshole that had his wedding ring in the dryer.
So let's follow this down. Okay, let's follow this down for me. Tell me where you place that. Where do you place that?
Right on the top of the pile.
On the pile. His dryer's got 53 minutes left.
Yeah.
So I place his wedding ring.
It's been through a wash already.
Into the dryer and just press. Do you put it back
Sure,
in a
put it
pair
in a
of
pocket.
jeans?
Put it in a pocket.
Wow. But look at what just happened. It just fell out. So that easily could happen again. You're sort of almost guaranteeing
Wait, hold on. It fell out simply because you opened up the dryer though, right? It was kind of in the crease. This isn't like a free-flowing dryer where it's open to the air and it flew out. I know, but you have to open up the door.
Yes, I opened up the door and I don't know what it came out of. It just fell onto the floor.
Right?
Yes. I don't know what it came out of.
You know the original location.
Yes.
You know the original location.
No, I don't know
dryer.
the original location. I know it was. I don't know what it came out of, Tobin. He's got
what
a bunch.
What are the variables?
The clothing, the articles, the clothing, Tobin.
You don't understand the exact article.
Yes, I don't.
But you understand that it came from that specific dryer.
Yes, okay, so
I don't think the guy would open up the dryer and be like, oh my God, I put my wedding ring in my jeans. Let me check my jeans.
No, he didn't know.
And it's not there. And he's like, oh, it can't be in any other article of clothing in my, you know what I mean? Like.
Right, but let's say I pick a pair of shorts that have no security, and now they fall right back out. Do you understand what I'm saying?
They fall out.
Well, you're thinking of it as...
Then they fall out
Well, you have
into the dryer.
Okay,
have some empathy behind it,
yes. I'm just going, I want this guy to get his wedding ring back, and I don't want to re-cause the same problem. That's what in your scenario.
In my scenario, I don't give a shit
He's
about
trying to
this
leave
guy's
no
wedding
trace.
ring.
You have some empathy.
I'm not.
You
Yes,
feel
I
that.
understand.
I have no empathy for this.
No.
Sack of
Okay,
shit.
see, for me, I was like, I do not. At that point, for me as a person, I want. To me, now I know. Now I'm on notice. It's my responsibility to get him his ring back.
Let him know.
To get him his ring back. I am not putting his ring back into the dryer and press. To me, that's
What's
almost
going to happen
like
in the dryer?
I don't know.
What's gonna happen? It's gonna melt.
If I found out, let's put it this way. If I found out that you came over to my place and you opened up my dryer and you saw my wedding ring fall out and then you just put it back in the dryer and then I was like, yo, I can't. And I go, yo, I can't find my wedding ring. And you were like, you know what?
If you didn't open up the dryer.
I saw it and I put it back. I'm sorry. I probably should have told you.
You don't know. That's not me. It's a complete stranger.
I know, but like.
That's where it was. If you didn't intervene, that's where it was going to be. That's where it was. You intervened in this wedding rings journey.
Once, sure.
Am I totally nuts?
Yes, because once
let us know in the comments
box.
Once I intervened, it was now on me to return the ring to him. Yes. If I'd never opened it, yes. Then it's on him to go, oh, I fucked up. It was
Are you
in my
raising
laundry.
your hand to say something?
Well, okay. You know what? Let's just ask Pat. Would you put the wedding ring back into the laundry, the dryer?
So this is, excuse me, is this the moment of time we're in right now? Is this the scenario? Like, this is the step you're at right now. You have the ring? You have possession of it?
I'm possession of the ring. There's 53 minutes.
You have it on you?
Hold on.
No. The story has not come even close to an end. There's a whole
really?
interaction. There's a whole fucking confrontation that you're
at this moment in time. I'm waiting up for the dude because
you're
waiting 53 minutes for this asshole.
I'm gonna pretend that I opened it thinking that it was my dryer going. And I'm gonna be like, hey dude, I opened this up, and your wedding ring fell out. I thought my stuff was still in there.
You're waiting 53
I found
minutes.
your wedding ring, but dude, what happened to my stuff that was in here?
So what happens was I go back up. I go up. I'm waiting around. I got this guy's wedding ring, and I'm like, wait.
Is this why you were late? Last Saturday?
No.
Last Sunday?
No. Let me finish the story.
Go
all
ahead.
right. I go up. I go up. I come down. It's a long wait. And I didn't even have that much more time on mine. So only like 15 minutes. So my shit's been done. Which, by the way, is so poetic because I'm pissed about people I'm having to wait. Now I'm having to wait around for this guy to come back down. So finally, someone comes in and he goes to this dryer, and I'm like, "Hey man, is this your stuff here?" And he's like, "Yeah, oh yeah." And I could tell he's kind of, and I was like, "Yeah, did you get married recently?" Because I had looked in the wedding ring and there was an inscription that said 9/4/2021, E+N. So I was like, oh, this is like a real wedding. Like, this is like someone's wedding ring. Right. He was like, oh my, yeah. He looks at me. I go, did you get married recently? And he was like,
you don't remember me?
Yeah. I hold out the ring in this sort of weird reveal because, again, I'd been waiting around for an hour. I didn't know how to broach it correctly. I'm concerned because it's like, why do I have it? Right? Yeah. Why do you have it? So I'm like, did you get married recently? And I reveal the ring. He's like, oh, yeah. Oh, shit. And I was like, yeah, man. Sorry, I accidentally opened up your dryer. You know, my stuff's up here. And he was like, oh, and it just fell out? And I was like, yeah, it just fell out, dude. And he was like, oh, my God. This is so... He goes, oh, that would have been so bad. I've only been married for 6 months. I'm recently married.
Did he throw it on or he put it back in his pocket?
He just like takes it and is like, thank you, dude. Like puts it in his pocket.
He throws it in the dryer.
Yeah, he goes, you know, I wish you would have just left it where it was. You know, I meant to have it in the warm, tumbling dryer.
Staring at you, he opens up.
Dude, so he goes, but he didn't even say, yeah. So I had to wait. Yeah, so he goes, so then he just kind of, and then it was weird. I don't think he even knew that I was waiting around for him because he literally then took all of his stuff out and I had to wait for him to be done taking his stuff out so I could then get my stuff. So he made me wait even longer but he was just like, oh man, dude, you like that, you were a lifesaver. And I was like, yeah.
You're
no
like,
problem,
come to the
dude.
Chipped Cup on Thursday.
Yeah, no problem.
Bring friends.
You're all good. So it ends up being a tale where I redemptively got this guy back his wedding ring that he had. And he knew the error in his ways. He was like, oh, that was a mistake. It must have slipped off. into my pot, and that's like that's a big no-no. You don't want to put your wedding ring in the laundry. That's like when you put it down the sink. So I ended up saving this guy. And my sister agrees.
Well, good.
Except for you.
All right.
Yeah.
Are we done? We'll save the limbo for the next step, right? Tight hour.
Yeah.
Right?
Unless you want to.
Do you have other shit?
No. I do have one other thing.
How long is it?
It's not long. It's very quick. It's not even really.
It's up to Smaha. Smaha's got to, we only have him under contract
Go
for
with
an
the flow,
hour.
baby.
Yeah.
There's been a pretty good up, I feel like.
Yeah. This is one. I'll say this very quick. I went to see Batman Thursday night, and I left 10 minutes in.
No.
I'm not going to say anything about the movie because like a teenage girl came in. Some girl came in, sat down next to me. It was like completely unmanageable. It was so distracting. I've never done this. My entire life, people, I've been going to movies. I go to movies more than maybe anyone on the planet. I was too excited. It's a long run time.
What was she doing?
She just first started asking me questions, standing up in front of me. And by the way, the very first frames of the movie, talking in frames. So we weren't in previews. We passed everything. We were golden. We were in the clear. She starts talking to me, and I'm like trying to hear her.
How old?
Not very old. Pretty young.
22.
Yeah. There were seats in front of me, open, doesn't want those. Sits right down next to me. Takes off her coat in this like extravagant display. Still can't fucking see.
She's solo?
Yeah. But it looked like she lost. I know. Part of me was like, but this is not the time. You know? I'm like fucking trying to watch Batman here. And then she immediately gets on her phone.
Yeah.
And it's such a big phone and it's so bright that I could see what she was texting. It was like she was looking for her friends. So she was like sitting up very far on the seat and like looking down the rows, and I'm like, just sit. So I was just like, fuck it. And I was like, I can't do this.
When are you going to see it next?
I saw it last night.
What would you give it a rating?
That's why I'm so tired.
1 to 10.
I can't do that yet.
All right.
How many times do you see movies? Like the same movie?
2 or 3 times a week.
Same movie?
No, I go to the movies probably like twice a week. Twice a week. I probably average 2-3 times.
Stubbs member. AMC
Yeah.
Stubbs.
Yeah, I'll go see Batman again pretty soon. I'll let you see it.
All right.
All right, gang.